Hello class, and welcome to today's algebra lesson, which is about multiplying polynomials by monomials. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to multiply polynomials with monomials and solve equations that involve monomial distributions. So we're going to start with multiplying our polynomials. This is essentially taking the rules of exponent multiplication that we had and applying the distributive property to it. So we're going to take this 2x and we're going to distribute it to all three of the terms in this trinomial. So I have 2 times 7, which is 14. Then using my rules of exponent multiplication, I'm going to take x to the first and x to the second and add those exponents to get x to the third. Then I'm going to move to the next piece, which is 2 times, our coefficient here is -1. So 2 times -1 is -2. X to the first times x to the first means adding 1 plus 1, giving me an exponent of 2. And then I've got 2 times 4, which is 8x. So when I distribute, I end up with 14x to the third minus 2x squared plus 8x. Go ahead and try this one on your own. So multiplying, you end up with -10x to the third minus 8x squared plus 16x. We also might have where it is a different variable being multiplied. If that happens, you're still going to multiply the coefficients. So 4 times 7 is 28. When you are doing your variables now, you want them to be in alphabetical order. So I'm going to put the x squared first and then the y. And then when I distribute to my next term of the trinomial, I'm going to end up with -4 x, y, and then when I distribute to the last one, I end up with plus 16y. So the multiplication of the coefficients continues just as the same, and then your variables end up in alphabetical order. Go ahead and try this one on your own. So after we distribute, we end up with -30px squared minus 24px plus 48p. Again, making sure those variables are in alphabetical order. Sometimes we might have more than one variable to deal with. So when we start, we still do our coefficient multiplication. So -7 times 7 is -49. Then I combine my h variables. So I've got h squared and h squared, which gives me h to the fourth. I've got x to the first and x to the second. Adding those exponents gives you x to the third. Then when I distribute, I've got that -1 as my coefficient of the second one, giving me a +7. H to the second and h to the second once again adds to h to the fourth. X to the first and x to the first, multiplication, adding those exponents gives us x to the second. And then distributing to the last piece, -7 times 4 is -28. H squared and h gives us h to the third, and then just an x because there is no x on this final term, giving us our final answer of -49h to the fourth, x to the third, plus 7x h to the fourth, x to the second, minus 28h to the third, x. Go ahead and try this one on your own. Multiplying, we end up with 45a to the third, b to the fifth, plus 36a to the second, b to the fifth, minus 72a to the second, b to the third. We can also use these rules of multiplication to help us simplify the expressions. So again, with this problem, I'm going to start by distributing to get rid of those parentheses. So I've got 18n to the third, adding my exponents, minus 12n to the second. Then I'm going to distribute the -3 to the second part of the problem. So I've got -27n to the fourth plus 33. So we distributed, which is part of our simplifying process. Now we need to see if there are any like terms. In order for two terms to be considered like terms, they need to have the same variable with the same exponent power. So in this example, 18n to the fourth and -27n to the fourth, Those have the same variable, n, and the same power to the fourth. Negative 12n to the second is not a like term because the exponent does not match the other two exponents. So I'm going to have 18n to the fourth minus 27n to the fourth, which is going to give me negative 9n to the fourth minus 12n squared plus 33. And that's all the further I can simplify this because my exponents no longer allow me to combine anything. Go ahead and try this one on your own. So we've got 8m to the fourth minus 16m squared plus 56m to the fourth minus 77m squared plus 21m after our distribution. Then we can combine our m to the fourths to get 64m to the fourth and combine our two m squareds to get negative 93m squared, and then plus 21m stays on its own. The last piece is to be able to solve equations that involve this monomial distribution. So we're going to start with our distributive property, giving us negative 8w squared. W and w gives you 1 plus 1 for w squared. And then we've got negative 2 times negative 9, giving us positive 18w, equals, distributing again, we've got negative 8w squared plus 15w. And doing our last distribution, we've got negative 3 and negative 4, which is positive 12w, negative 3 and negative 6, which is positive 18. Then you want to look and do your simplifying step. On the left side of the equation, w squared and w cannot combine because those exponents don't match. On the right side, we've got 15w and 12w. So negative 8w squared plus 18w is equal to negative 8w squared. 15 plus 12 is going to give you plus 27w, and then plus 18. Next, we're going to want to start to rearrange from side to side. So I'm going to take this negative 8w squared, and I'm going to add that to the other side to get it with its like term. So now that I'm moving to the opposite side of the equal sign, I have to use my inverse operations. Negative 8w squared cancels out. Negative 8w squared once again cancels out, leaving me with 18w is equal to 27w plus 18. Now I need to get my w's together, so I'm going to subtract 27w from both sides, giving me negative 9w is equal to 18. And then I'm going to finish by dividing both sides by negative 9, which is going to give me an answer of w is equal to negative 2. If you wanted to check your answer, you could plug w back in, and you would find that both sides are equal to each other. Go ahead and try this one on your own. So we do our distributive property, then we have our like terms to combine on this right side, so negative 2p plus 18p gives you 16p. Then I've got negative 6 plus negative 90, or subtracting 90, and that gives me negative 96. Subtracting 16p from both sides gives me negative 32p is equal to negative 96. Dividing by 32 gives you a final answer of p is equal to 3. If you have questions about this or anything else from the lesson, please feel free to reach out and let me know.